everybody? It's Ty. We are back with another video for this week, and I just wanted to take another couple minutes to update you guys on what has been going on here at Kaleo. Happy 4th of July. I'm a little bit late. I know this video is not going to get out before 4th of July, but nevertheless, the sentiment is still there. Happy 4th of July. Yesterday was 4th of July, and we had an absolutely great time. We took the day off from content and working, and we spent the morning at the beach. We had a little volleyball tournament and really just got to enjoy hanging out with one another. We spent a lot of time at the beach, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually getting tan. That's right. Man, it has been so much fun. I am so thankful for the fellowship that Kaleo has brought us. If there's anything that I can take out of the last couple weeks of Kaleo specifically, it is the fellowship aspect of it. It is beyond anything I have ever experienced. The joys of a loving biblical community is just so much fun. The amount of friends that I've gotten to make here is just unmatched with anything that I've ever done. In fact, I've met so many people that I'm impressed that I remember all these names, you know. But man, we have just been able to form such amazing friendships and bonds with all these people around us. And anyways, like I was saying, yeah, we spent a lot of time at the beach yesterday. And then afterwards, we had a fireworks show around here, and we went and we watched that. And man, it was just absolutely brilliant fireworks. Some of the best fireworks I've ever seen, I will be honest. And Florida does fireworks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But man, we have just been having so much fun out here lately, and I hope that you guys are doing awesome. I've been praying for you guys a lot. And I've had just a transformative last couple of weeks here at Kaleo. I'm learning so much, and we are, just diving so deep into the Word, and I feel God working and, revealing things to me in my mind and helping me make realizations about myself that is more than I, ever would have expected to get out of Kaleo. And so one thing I will tell you guys is that I am super, super stoked to get back to campus in these next couple of weeks and, start building ministry back in Stillwater again and start putting what I'm learning here to the test and start being able to exercise some of the knowledge that I've been able to gain from Kaleo. One thing that we've been focusing a lot on lately is world prayer, and that's something that we get to do every Saturday morning. Is that we will break off into little groups. Our D groups will each head to a different room, and the leaders of Kaleo will lead us in world prayer, where we get to learn about the different religions of the world, whether that be the tribal nations, what some of the tribal nations of the world believe. Hinduism, we've learned a lot about Hinduism, Mormonism, just a lot of these different religions that are well known throughout the world, and that different cultures and different countries believe in, and the differences between them and how we can better reach them and pray for them. And this last week, we spent time learning about religion in China. And it was very interesting because the Christian faith in China is persecuted. If you believe in Jesus, or if you practice Christianity in China, then you are persecuted for that. A lot of people go to prison for that, and which is a really harsh reality that we got to look into and face, and realizing how grateful we are to be able to live in a country where we can believe what we want freely and practice our beliefs so freely without being persecuted for them, and be able to express our beliefs and share beliefs with others without backlash for them. And it's just very unfortunate hearing about what's going on in China in its current state, currently in the world, and how a lot of missionaries and a lot of people of faith in China have to worship God in private. They have to hide their faith, essentially, as a way of protecting their families and protecting themselves. And a lot of these people will meet in secret locations underground, in order to worship God together and practice their faith together, in fear of what might happen to them if the government or if the police catches them. So if there's anything I can ask you guys to pray about this week, is to pray for the nations across the world, and that these nations like China that are being persecuted for their faith may find freedom, and that God may shine His light over them and lead those who are in the faith, to safety and to freedom. All these people in all these countries that are persecuted for their faith may find safety, and that those who are persecuting them may have a change of heart, and that there may be a transformation that happens in these countries in our lifetimes. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you guys and tell you guys a little bit about. There's something very specific in this video that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I will jump into that right now. So for those of you who do not know, this is Nathan Shell. And he was my roommate last year at OSU. He was the first person that I met when I moved in at OSU. He helped me move into my dorm, and that was my first ever day at OSU, and he was the first person I ever met. And so that was really special for me. And Nathan and I had a really good time this whole last year, getting really close and becoming really good friends. Him, me, and Jacob alike. We were all really good friends this last year, which was part of the shared experience of being roommates. That was super, super fun that we got to do together. Now, Nathan was super awesome at getting me plugged in at OSU. And what I especially cherish about Nathan is how friendly he was to me when I didn't have a lot of friends. And it was still my first, couple weeks getting settled in. And I didn't know a lot of people. And one night, he invited me to go with him and one of his friends to Cane's. Because I had never been to Raising Cane's before, because we don't got Raising Cane's in Idaho. And so he took me out to dinner one night, and which was great because I didn't have anything else to do. I didn't really have any friends at OSU yet. And so Nathan took me to Cane's one night, and he bought me dinner, which was the nicest thing anybody had done for me yet at OSU because I didn't know anybody. And it was that night that Nathan shared the gospel with me. Now, of course, I already knew who God was. I knew who Jesus was. I grew up in a Christian household, and my parents had led me in faith most of my life. And so I knew who God and Jesus was, but it was then that I realized that I didn't have a relationship with God. And though I knew who he was and I believed in him, I wasn't following him. And it was that night that I truly gave my life to Christ. And Nathan helped me make that decision. And he helped me come to this realization that in my life, though I know who Jesus was and though I believed in Jesus, I wasn't following him and I was neglecting him and I was neglecting his plan for my life. And I had, up to a certain point, refused to surrender to him. And I had refused to truly follow his commands as he asked me to do. And it was from there that I, began to get plugged into Sumo, and I began to meet new people, and I began to get a little bit stronger in my faith over time. Now, as he helped me make this decision to pursue Christ further in my life, that I realized how faithful Nathan was and how devoted he was to the ministry in our community. Nathan was a senior last year. He's graduated now, and he had spent a lot of his time at OSU pursuing ministry and helping people like me get plugged into Sumo at OSU and pursue our faith and make the choice to be all in for Christ and devote our lives to following Christ. And there's something very remarkable about that in Nathan and the fellowship that I saw him bring into so many other people like me, and the how much he pursued a lot of the men in our ministry, who were new to campus, who were freshmen, who didn't have that many friends, and how he was so hospitable to them and so friendly, and how he was able to kind of unite a lot of us freshmen who didn't really know anybody, who didn't have any friends, and was able to unite us and help us grow with one another and help us grow in our relationship with God together and spur one another on. Now, Nathan has gone to Kaleo for the last several years. Nathan is a Kaleo regular at this point. He went as a participant, and then he's returned to be a leader a couple of times. But this summer, Nathan couldn't make it to Kaleo because he was signing on to join staff next year. He had to do support raising all summer, which meant that he had to stay back in Stillwater and raise money so he could join staff this upcoming school year. And so he wasn't able to make it to Kaleo, which was a real bummer because Nathan was one of my best friends, throughout this last year. And so having to go through this summer without him, Nathan encouraged me to join Kaleo. He presented me with the opportunity to go to Kaleo initially. Without Nathan, I would have no idea what Kaleo was. I would not have gotten the opportunity to be here. And so it was sad, being here without Nathan, without somebody who had been so instrumental to, my walk in faith and my walk in God. So Nathan surprised us the other night by driving down here, and Nathan drove down to Florida and surprised all of us. He showed up late the other night, and you can just tell the excitement and the joy in all of us as he kind of scared us. He kind of popped out of nowhere. We had it set up where he was in my bed. He was pretending to be me in my bed, and so when all of our roommates came home, and they saw him in bed, we were like, hey, we got to go wake Ty up, because he's sleeping. And so they thought it was me in bed, but it was actually Nathan. But you can just see the joy that Nathan has brought all these people and how excited everybody was to see that Nathan got to be here for the rest of the summer.
Dude, that is so loud.
So Nathan gets to spend these next couple of weeks with us. This next last full week of Kaleo with us being here. But you can see the impact that Nathan has had on all of these people and all my roommates, between me and all the guys in our room. You can see how excited we are to have him here. And that just goes to show how much of a friend and a true companion Nathan has been to all of us guys here at Kaleo, and how instrumental he is to us and our growth in our faith, and how happy we are to have Nathan here. And so with that, I wanted to take a little bit of time to ask Nathan a couple questions so you guys could get to know him and see what he's getting to do these next couple years as he joins STUMO staff back on campus. Nathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so glad that I'm finally in Orlando. It's such a blast.
So could you explain a little bit what it looks like for you going on staff with STUMO and kind of what responsibilities you have doing that?
A common question for a senior is, what are you going to do? Like, what's your next step after college? And for me, I was a little bit curious myself. I had a lot of different things I thought might be the option, but then Student Mobilization called, the organization that puts on Kaleo, and they offered me an interview to go onto campus staff through STUMO. I was a little hesitant at first, but I said, you know what, Lord, this might be your prompting. I'll keep an open hand toward it. And I decided I'll interview. So I interviewed, then I get the offer to, for 3 years, go on staff at Oklahoma State, seeking to make disciples amongst Oklahoma State students. Ultimately said, you know what, I think this is where the Lord is calling me, and that's how I accepted my role with STUMO. And so right now is the very beginning of my 3-year tenure.
That's awesome. So you're technically not on staff yet, is that right? You're still kind of in the build-up to your initial start date. So what does that look like for you right now? What have you been up to lately in preparation for getting ready to join staff this fall?
So like you said, my official role doesn't start till August, so to speak. But STUMO is unique in that it's a paid position, but not in a way that you would think normally. So STUMO has what you call a support raised salary. So similar to like a church being run by the tithe, STUMO staffers are able to do their job because of support raising partners. So it's not like I sign on the dotted line and then get a monthly check or bi-weekly check from STUMO. My salary is dependent on me finding contributors to invest. And so I've met over the past 3-4 months with 50 to 75 different families or individuals, and just kind of cast this vision of what the Lord's done personally in my life, what I see him doing, my vision for ministry, and then discuss my financial goals with him. And so that's what I've been doing the last few months, and I've gotten to the point where I'm at my fully funded mark. So that is exciting, and it's kind of this beginning of the 3 years, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been to Kaleo for several years in the past. You've contributed as both a leader and a participant over time. But what is Kaleo going to look like for you in the future now as somebody on staff? And what are you looking forward to as a, somebody who's on staff who's able to play a key role in Kaleo in the future?
I'm just excited for that because, dude, when I was a freshman going into my sophomore year, I didn't really know up from down, and Kaleo met me where I needed to be met, spiritually and from a community perspective. And so I often just explain to others that I want to be that person that a staffer was for me when I was a freshman and sophomore, just really being a guiding factor, a mouthpiece for the gospel that can help younger students find direction where they once had none. So that's my excitement for staff. I think there's a lot of cool parts about it, but the core of why people go on staff, I think, is that they desire younger students to walk with the Lord well, just as they have come to realize. So that's kind of my heartbeat for going on staff.
Yeah, that's awesome, Nathan. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me. Everybody, this is Nathan Show, and this is a man who has had a profound impact on my life and has been an excellent influence on me with my walk of faith, and I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to hear a little bit from the man himself, who I speak so highly of. I'm very grateful for Nathan and his presence in my life, as well as all of our lives, and the influence that he has had on us, and just how kind and encouraging he has been through these past several months. You guys stay tuned next week for another video, but in the meantime, let's give it up for Nathan.
Thanks, guys. Great to meet you. Ty is awesome, and I'm really excited for what he's going to be doing back on campus. So thanks for watching. I'm really excited for how Kaleo will close out.